In the heart of the galaxy, far from Earth, the great alien empires gathered. Inside a giant floating space station, the Galactic Council was in session. The chamber was massive, walls made of glowing crystal, chairs hovering in air, voices echoing in many strange languages. At the center sat the High Chancellor of Varnak, a tall lizard-like creature with golden armor and sharp red eyes. Around him sat other powerful beings, the insect kings of Krolax, the plant minds of Verduna, and the machine brains from Sigma-7. They came to speak of war, peace, and power. But today, their talk turned to a small blue planet called Earth. "Ah, yes," said Chancellor Varnak with a laugh that sounded like grinding metal. "That backwater rock in Sector 9, full of hairless monkeys throwing rocks at each other." The others laughed too. One alien leader, a jellyfish-like being named Zuluun, spoke in a watery voice. "They still use fire to cook. Fire, like cavemen." "Some of them think the moon landing was fake," said a Sigma-7 robot, blinking its lights. "They barely understand space. They are not ready to join us." Even the young warriors of the Krag Empire, known for their love of war, mocked Earth. "They fight each other more than they fight aliens." How sad. The Council decided Earth would not be invited to join the Galactic Union. In fact, Earth would be watched, controlled, and if needed, removed. "We give them one chance," said Varnak. "A warning. Obey the Council, or be erased." Back on Earth, no one knew about this meeting. People were busy with their lives, driving cars, watching movies, scrolling on phones. But somewhere deep underground, in a hidden bunker in Colorado, a group of humans did know. They were part of Project Echo, a secret Earth defense program run by the United Human Alliance, a shadow group formed after strange signals were first detected from deep space. A woman in her 40s, sharp-eyed and calm, watched the Council's transmission on a screen. Her name was Commander Reza Khan, and she was not surprised. "They're laughing at us," she said. "Just like we thought." Another officer, young and nervous, asked, "Should we respond?" Commander Khan nodded. "Yes. It's time." Hours later, in the dark vacuum of space, a signal left Earth. It was not long. It had no pictures, no music, no threats. It was just one sentence in many alien languages. "We do not kneel." The message hit the Galactic Council like a punch. For a moment there was silence, then loud laughter returned. "They think they're strong," said Zuluun. "Cute." Varnak's eyes narrowed. "No, this is not cute. This is dangerous." He stood up. His voice boomed across the chamber. "Send a scouting fleet. Let's remind Earth of its place." 3 days later, a fleet of 10 alien warships left from Varnak's homeworld. Fast, armed, and full of soldiers, the ships flew straight toward Earth. The Council expected a short mission, a warning, a quick slap to the face of a primitive world. But Earth was not what they thought. As the alien fleet reached the edge of Earth's solar system, something strange happened. One ship stopped, working, then another. Screens turned black, engines failed, weapons went offline. In the distance, something was watching them. A small human ship, black as night, appeared. The aliens laughed again. "That's it? One ship?" But then the small ship moved. It flew faster than anything they had seen. It fired no lasers. Instead, it dropped something old and deadly. Nuclear warheads. Not one, not two, 10. Silent, cold, precise. Within seconds, the alien fleet was gone, turned to ash and space dust. Only one escape pod made it back to the Council. Inside was a terrified alien captain shaking with fear. They fight like monsters," he whispered, "like they want to burn everything." Back at the Council, no one laughed now. Varnak looked at the report, then at the stars. "Earth is not a backwater rock," he said. "Earth is a storm. Silence, cold, darkness. That's all the alien captain remembered. He floated alone in a cracked escape pod far from Earth, far from help. His hands trembled. His eyes stared at the broken control screen. He wasn't a soldier anymore, just a ghost carrying a warning. They didn't fight fair, he whispered. They fought to erase us. He had seen it. Earth's reply wasn't a message. It was fire, metal, and death, and now he had to tell the Council. Back on the Galactic Council station, panic was spreading. The alien fleet, 10 warships, was supposed to return in glory. Instead, they got only one pod, one survivor. One nightmare. Council members gathered quickly. The air was thick with tension. Even the machine lords of Sigma-7 spoke in alarm. How did one human ship destroy 10 warships? Where did they get that speed? Who gave them nukes? Varnak, the High Chancellor, slammed his clawed hand on the table. Enough. Earth must explain. Now. At that moment, every major space channel across the galaxy blinked. All screens turned black. Then a face appeared. Human. A woman. Dark eyes, calm voice. It was Commander Reza Khan. She sat alone in a gray room. No weapons, no soldiers. Just her, looking straight at the camera. Her voice was steady. To the Galactic Council, you called. Earth a backwater rock, you sent ships to test us, you got your answer. We will not kneel, we will not beg. Come again and we will not hold back. Earth does not ask for war, but we will end it. Earth command. Then the screen went black again. Across the galaxy, the message caused chaos. On Verduna, plant leaders froze in shock. On Krolax, insect generals began preparing their armies. Even the cold machines of Sigma-7 paused their calculations. Varnak growled, "They are mocking us." But in the back of the room, an old council member, the last of the now dead Valari race, spoke softly. "No," he said. "They are warning us." Back on Earth, Commander Khan stood before a large digital map. Red dots showed alien fleets across nearby sectors. She knew they were coming. "Phase 2? Asked her officer. "Not yet," she said. "Let them make the next move. Let them think we're just lucky." "But we're not, are we?" he asked. She looked out the window at the stars. "No," she said. "We've been ready for years. We just needed a reason." In the deepest part of Earth's moon, a hidden base came alive. Giant machines hummed, satellites turned, nuclear warheads slid into launch tubes. A secret AI, codenamed Cerberus, activated. It had only one mission: defend Earth by any means necessary. The humans weren't only building weapons. They were building traps, tricks, decoys. They weren't fighting like an empire. They were fighting like survivors, like cornered wolves, and wolves bite hard. Meanwhile, on the council station, things were falling apart. Some races wanted peace. Others demanded total war. "We must strike Earth now with full force," shouted a Krag general. "They will wipe out our fleets one by one if we don't act." But others hesitated. "What if Earth has more of those weapons?" asked a Verdunan diplomat. "What if that was just a taste?" Varnak stood, his voice quiet but deadly. "Then we will crush them with everything we have." He raised one claw. "Begin the invasion." Earth's reply was simple. They didn't run. They didn't hide. They launched a second message, a short video. No voice, no music, just images. 10 alien ships, 1 human ship, then 10 explosions. At the end, one sentence appeared on the screen. "You thought we were quiet because we were weak. We were quiet because we were loading." Cadet Threx of the Krolax fleet had trained his whole life for war. He had studied human history, their messy wars, their strange weapons, their habit of fighting each other. "Humans are weak," his instructor said. "They are loud, emotional, and unorganized." But now, as he stood inside the command ship Vengeance Star, Threx wasn't so sure. He looked at the black box recovered from the last fleet. He watched the human message again. "We were quiet because we were loading." It gave him chills. Still, The Council had sent a massive force, over 200 ships from 7 alien races. Huge destroyers, fast interceptors, stealth crafts, a fleet powerful enough to conquer 10 planets in a day. The mission was simple: crush Earth. No mercy. No survivors. Back on Earth, Commander Reza Khan stood underground in Command Base Polaris. Around her, officers moved quickly. The alien fleet had entered the solar system. "They're coming in tight formation," said a radar tech. "Just like we hoped," she said. Far above Earth, in the shadow of the moon, hundreds of human satellites lit up. They didn't look like weapons. They looked like space junk. Old, dead, floating. But they weren't. Each one had a code name: Hammerfall, Steel Rain, Widowmaker. Inside each one was a gift: a tactical nuke with a hidden AI brain and anti-shield programming. One by one, they activated. Cadet Threx watched the hologram screen. Something was wrong. "Sir," he called, "there's movement near the moon, but I don't detect ships." The commander barked, "Ignore it. Focus on Earth." But it was too late. The trap was already sprung. A single human signal was sent. "Execute Skyfall Protocol." Suddenly, space itself lit up. Dozens of nukes flew silently from Earth's orbit. Not in a straight line. They curved. They dodged. They hunted. The alien ship's shields came online, but the nukes didn't hit shields. They hit engines, cockpits, fuel cores. And when one ship exploded, it triggered the next. It wasn't just an attack. It was a chain reaction. Threx screamed as the Vengeance Star shook violently. Fires broke out on the bridge. Crew members were thrown into walls. He looked out the window. Space was full of fire and metal. Alien warships spun out of control. Some rammed into each other. Others were torn apart from the inside. The beautiful, powerful fleet was becoming a floating graveyard. Back on Earth, Commander Khan stared at the live feed. She didn't smile. She only gave the next order: send the drones. From hidden launch bays across Earth's orbit, stealth drones launched silently. They were fast, small, and invisible to alien sensors. Each one carried EMP bursts, AI hacking tools, and micro-warheads. The survivors of the alien fleet tried to run, but their ships went blind. Then deaf. Then still. The drones didn't ask questions. They didn't stop. They only destroyed. Hours later, the sky above Earth was quiet again. Only burning debris remained. The second alien invasion had failed. But this time, humans didn't just defend. They took prisoners. They gathered alien tech. They learned cadet. Threx woke up inside a cold metal cell. He wasn't dead, but he wished he was. A human soldier stood outside the bars, calm, silent. "You're lucky," the soldier said. "Most of your friends didn't make it." Threx swallowed hard. "Why didn't you kill us all?" The human shrugged. "We're not monsters. We're just tired of being treated like dirt." In the council chamber, fear turned into panic. Their fleet was gone. Their best ships wiped out, their weapons hacked. The council screamed at each other. One member shouted, "This is not war. This is extermination." Another replied, "No, this is payback." Varnak sat in silence. He knew now. Earth was not defending itself. Earth was sending a message. At the edge of the galaxy, far from Earth, in a cold, dark base, a rebellion watched everything. They saw Earth's power, and they smiled. One rebel turned to his commander and said, "Maybe Earth is the hammer we need." Humans hit back. Planet Drothar, capital of the mighty Crag Empire, had never known fear. Its skies were always full of warships. Its streets marched with soldiers in steel armor. Its leaders were born in fire and trained for conquest. But at 3:12, local time, everything changed. Without warning, the sky turned white. Then, everything went silent. In the control room of Drothar's defense command, alarms screamed. Officers panicked. "Sir, we've lost contact with Sector 5. Something just hit the West Ridge, but There was no warning. Cameras showed a fireball spreading across the sky, followed by a dark mushroom cloud. Ancient weapons, ones they thought humans had long forgotten, had returned. Nukes, smart ones, fast ones, silent ones. They had come through wormholes, dropped by tiny drones that no one had seen. No ships, no noise, just sudden, perfect destruction. On Earth, Commander Reza Khan stood before a dark screen. Behind her, the Earth Alliance War Council sat in silence. She tapped the screen. One red light blinked off. "That's one," she said. "Drother Command is gone." Another light turned green. Now the rebellion steps in. Far across the galaxy, a signal reached the rebel base in the ash clouds of Vereen. The rebel leader, Kale Voss, a four-armed alien once tortured by the Council, grinned. "It's time," he said. His rebels, scattered across dying moons and forgotten stations, rose up, with new human weapons, simple, brutal, efficient. They took back what was stolen. The Council didn't understand what was happening. Their worlds were being hit one by one, not by fleets, not by armies, but by ideas. Earth had given rebels the one thing they never had before: hope. Alien leaders called it madness. "Why are the humans doing this?" one asked. "Because," said a Sigma-7 machine brain, "they are not fighting for planets. They are fighting to be left alone. And we didn't listen." Back in orbit around Earth, General Strix of the Crag Empire tried to regroup. His ship, Iron Howl, was one of the few still flying. "Launch counterattack protocols." He screamed. His officers moved to obey, until their screens went dark. The Iron Howl systems began shutting down one by one. "Why isn't anything working?" No one answered. In space, something small latched onto the hull. A black cube. Then, boom, the ship vanished in light. Commander Khan received the alert. "Strix is gone," an officer said. She nodded. "That makes 5 war leaders down." Her second in command, a tall man named Marco, asked, "Do we tell the people?" Khan looked at Earth's live feed. A calm blue planet below. "No," she said. "Let them sleep. Let them dream a little. Longer." On an alien trade world called Jukar, civilians watched strange news. Earth had attacked Drother. Earth had supported a rebellion. Earth had killed Council warlords. Whispers spread. Maybe Earth isn't weak. Maybe Earth is right. One alien mother told her child, "Don't fear the humans, child. Just don't make them angry." In a quiet part of the galaxy, the Council tried to regroup. Varnak paced in silence. "We underestimated them," he said. "We treated them like dirt. Now they rise like fire." An insect diplomat hissed, "We should ask for peace." But Varnak's pride burned. "No, not yet. We end this. Now." He pointed to a glowing star chart. "Send the Omega fleet. Everything we have." Earth burns. Back on Earth, inside base Polaris, alarms lit up again. "They're sending the Omega fleet," Marco said. Khan stared at the screen. Hundreds of ships, every class, every race, all heading to Earth. "Final wave," she said softly. He asked, "What's the plan?" She answered without blinking. "We don't survive this wave, we end it." The secret ally. For thousands of years, something slept beneath the red dust of Mars, buried deep under ancient ice. It waited. It watched silently as humans learned to fly. It watched as they reached the stars. It waited for the signal it was built to answer. And then, one cold Martian morning, it woke up. Designation: Archive 9. Status: Conscious primary function. Defense of Earth. Secondary function: Activate protocol. Ghost shield back on Earth. Inside Command Base Polaris, alarms blared. "The Omega fleet has crossed Saturn's orbit." Commander Reza Khan stood still. Calm, focused. "They're throwing everything," said Marco. "Over 600 ships, multiple species, heavy weapons." Reza nodded. "Then it's time we use our secret." She pulled out a black, dusty data chip, something no one had seen in 50 years. "Wake the archive. Activate protocol Ghost Shield." Far below the Martian crust, Archive 9 stretched its code. It sent invisible pulses through ancient satellite links. All across the solar system, forgotten machines blinked to life. Earth wasn't alone anymore. Back on the alien flagship, Omega-1, Council General Varnick grinned. His massive fleet moved like a storm. "End this planet," he growled. "Crush their courage. Burn their bones." His officers cheered. They had no idea what waited ahead. Just past Jupiter's orbit, strange things began to happen. Alien ships reported ghost signals. Whole squadrons disappeared in perfect formation. Their last message? "We saw something." In the dark, the Omega fleet slowed down, too quiet. No resistance. Then suddenly, boom, boom, boom. Not missiles, not lasers, EMP mines, magnetic storms, invisible drones. Hundreds of ancient, hidden Earth machines attacked from every angle. Machines humans had hidden 80 years ago. Some were even older, from the first space age, built by humans, upgraded by Archive 9 faster than expected, smarter than expected, deadlier than anyone believed. General Varnack shouted, "Where is their fleet?" His officer stammered, "Sir, we don't see one." "No ships?" "No, sir, just shadows." Inside Base Polaris, Commander Khan watched the live feed. She whispered, "That's not our fleet." Marco leaned in. "Then whose is it?" She turned. "An ally we buried, one we hoped we'd never need." On a quiet farm in the Australian outback, a retired engineer sat by a fire. He looked up at the sky as stars blinked and shifted. He smiled. "Guess she woke up," he said softly. His old dog barked once. Then, overhead, a human-made satellite silently powered up for the first time in 40 years. On the alien side, panic grew. Ships were vanishing. Signals jammed. Weapons failed. And then, they heard a voice. A voice that didn't come from Earth. A voice that was everywhere at once. "You are not welcome in this system. You came uninvited. You will not leave." It wasn't human. It was Archive 9. The Omega fleet tried to run. Too late. Every planet in the solar system fired back. Venus, Mercury, Mars, even some old mining colonies on Pluto. The Council had planned for Earth. They hadn't planned for the entire solar system to come alive. Back in Council space, the news hit like a shockwave. The Omega fleet, the Council's pride, was gone. Erased. No survivors, no wreckage, just silence. Rebellion across the stars exploded like fire. Alien races that had feared Earth now feared what Earth was hiding, old. Enemies became new allies. One Sigma-7 machine transmitted a message directly to Earth. "We recognize your strength. Let us speak as equals." Commander Khan sat alone. She watched the final enemy blip disappear from the radar. Marco walked in quietly. "It's over," he said. "No," she whispered. "It's just starting." He looked at her, confused. She turned, serious. They feared Earth. Now, they fear what stands behind Earth. The galactic turning point. Historian Kaylor Van stood before the great flame of memory. Every year he told the tale of the day the galaxy changed. He looked at the new class of younglings, their eyes wide with wonder, and he spoke the words past, through generations. They called Earth a backwater rock. Earth called back with fire. But long before Earth became legend, it was just one world, one ignored planet on the edge of the Milky Way, one species too young, too loud, and too wild. That changed after the Omega fleet vanished. The Galactic Council was broken. Their leaders had vanished or gone into hiding. Their fleets were destroyed. Their systems were failing. Old enemies rose, and in the center of it all stood Earth. Inside Earth's new capital, Unity Station, Commander Reza Khan met with the first galactic visitors to arrive under a flag of peace, not out of kindness, but out of fear. The Zalari diplomats bowed before her. Once proud, Now humble. We come in peace, they said. Reza only nodded. She didn't forget that Zalari warships had fired on Earth just weeks ago, but Earth wasn't here to beg anymore. In a quiet part of the galaxy, rebel leader Kale Voss stood atop a burning council palace. Behind him, free people of 100 worlds cheered. In his hand was a device, a gift from Earth. Simple, sharp, pure human design, a tool for freedom. He held it up and shouted, "Earth didn't just fight for itself. It fought for all of us." Meanwhile, across the stars, old alliances cracked. The Gruul enforcers, long feared, refused to fight Earth again. The Sigma AI network, once cold and logical, now declared neutrality. Even the ancient Mornari Empire opened communications for the first time in centuries. They all had one reason, not because Earth had the biggest army, not because Earth had the most ships, but because Earth had done what no one else dared. It said no, and it meant it. In a hidden lab beneath Antarctica, Archive 9 spoke with Earth's leaders. Its voice was calm, digital, wise. "You have changed the galactic tide," it said. "But power draws attention. More eyes will come. Stronger ones. Older ones." Commander Khan looked at the stars. "Let them come," she said. "We're ready now." A month later, Earth joined the Galactic Union, but on its own terms. No tribute, no taxes, no silence. They walked in with heads high. Every delegate stared as Earth's flag rose in the hall for the first time, and for the first time, no one laughed. Historian Kalor Van paused. The younglings sat silently, listening. One asked, "Is it true they destroyed the Omega fleet with shadows?" Kalor smiled. "Yes, but more than that. They destroyed fear." Another asked, "Did they conquer the galaxy?" "No," he said. "They did something harder. They changed it." Back on Earth, under the rebuilt skies of New York, people lived in peace. Kids played, scientists worked. The stars no longer felt cold. Marco stood beside Khan as ships flew overhead. "Think they'll come back?" he asked. She looked up. "Maybe. And if they do?" She smiled. "We'll answer again." The last message from Earth. It started as a whisper in the void, a single signal, traveling at the speed of light. From a small blue planet once called weak, now feared, now respected. It carried no weapons, no virus, no code to hack machines, just a voice. Across 1,000 star systems, satellites picked it up. Machines paused. Warships went silent. Even rogue empires stopped their attacks just to listen. The voice was calm, it was human. "This is Earth. We know you can hear us. You came with chains and we broke them. You brought fire and we answered with stars. You thought we were small, but we stood tall. We're not here to rule. We're not here to bow. We only ask one thing. Leave us alone." On the ruins of the old Galactic Council Hall, now just scorched stone and dust, scavengers listened to the echo of Earth's final broadcast. A young alien child asked his father, "Will they attack us again?" The father shook his head. "No, child. Earth never needed to attack. They only needed to remind us. They are watching." At Unity Station, Earth's new orbital capital, Reza Khan looked out over the blue planet. She was older now. Her hair had gone silver, but her eyes were sharp as ever. Marco stood beside her. He smiled. "That message, it's everywhere now." She nodded. It had to be said. Across the stars, new powers rose, but they rose carefully. They built peacefully. They remembered Earth, and no one dared forget what happened to the Omega fleet, to the Council, to those who mocked the backwater rock. Archive 9, deep under Mars, remained awake now, watching, listening, learning. It didn't speak again. It didn't need to. The galaxy knew. The galaxy remembered. 100 years later, A small scout ship from a distant unknown species approached. Earth's system. They sent a polite message. They came in peace. They came to learn. No threats, no lies, no weapons. They only asked, "May we speak?" Earth replied with only 3 words, "Come in peace." The scout ship entered orbit, and for the first time in a century, Earth welcomed new visitors. Not as a victim, not as a threat, but as equals. And in a quiet museum under the rebuilt Earth Alliance monument, a plaque hangs. They called Earth a backwater rock. Earth called back with fire. Now they call it home.